The UFL Gambling Podcast Week 8 preview picks and DFS episode. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the bank account that is built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus. Yes, we're also brought to you by Naira Bets. Claim your $200 deposit bonus today at Naira Bets. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN200. Promo code SGPN200. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Brian Bosworth, a.k.a. The Boz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother. Peace out. Boz out.
Is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
This is
Welcome to the UFL Gambling Podcast. Well, hey, getting the slides up there early. My apologies. Week 8 preview picks. DFS, we got it all, and for some reason I can't get off this picture of the slides. Okay, it's taking a while. YouTube.com/@UFL Gambling Pod, where crossroads meet bullshit. We bring it to you here first. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Database Dant, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Very healthy as I crack open a Club Colombia. Shout out to the fine brewers. Cerveza tipo Amber Lager. It's good stuff, guys. You know? Well, we like to say where crossroads meet bullshit. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. But before we do that, I am joined by my co-host. He's the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which go check out. They've been killing it. Whatever the sport, I feel like, but obviously Preakness right around the corner. I'm sure they did a solid 20 minutes on a guy punching a horse. Give it up for Scumbagger Vance, a.k.a. the Bet Detective, CJ Sullivan. How are you, buddy?
Great. I did bring up that story and brought it up here on the UFL show last time, I believe. I was at, when we talked about the Preakness, I was at the last Preakness where a man did try to punch a horse Artax. But is that the Colombian beer choice you got there, Colby? Is that what everyone drinks down there?
There's a couple different ones. There's one called Poker, which I'm attracted to naturally, but yeah, Club Colombia is another one. There's like 3, and you know they all kind of taste very similar. So they're all good though. Latin beers, yeah, for my money, Latin or Japanese beers.
Yeah, I agree. It's got a little spice to it, a little zing down there. You know what I mean?
I'm not the type to have like the fucking gigantic IPA from fucking not at all. Yeah. If I have to, I will though. But yeah. Anyway, and they're saying you don't like those imperial stouts, you prick bastard. Give it up for the host of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast, Justin Mark, aka No Turn JMark. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. I like a stout here and there, but I won't touch an IPA. They all taste like dirty sock water to me. Any whiskey distilling down there in Colombia?
Rum. It's a rum.
Yeah,
it's a rum. It's a rum thing.
I mean, everywhere's got whiskey. I got one from Lithuania. Haven't cracked it open yet.
Right.
But I'm trying to explore some of the other small places that make whiskey just to see what it's like.
As a bartender told me one time when I was down in Central America and I asked for a whiskey, he goes, well, we have whiskey, but you don't want it. So trust me.
I'll put it like this.
Like, fair enough. You do rum, give me the rum.
You'll like this story. I'm taking her parents out. We went to we flew to a beach town, and we were at the beach, Santa Marta, for like 4 or 5 days. And, I'm kind of schooling her pops on all like the drinks, because he wanted to have some drinks with me, but he just knows the Columbia beers or rum or aguardente. Besides that, he knows it's not that. So, we got a old fashioned from a hotel here, and guess what? The old fashioned they used fucking scotch. They used scotch. First time I tasted it, I was like, what the fuck am I drinking? But he loved it. So, I mean, you know what it is like, it's ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, it's
ignorance
true.
is bliss. Because he was like, this is delicious.
If that's your first old fashioned, then it's great. Did they muddle the fruit for you to get a little muddler in there? And,
no cherry. They don't do that cherry bullshit down here in Colombia. I'll tell you that.
You ever done a mezcal old fashioned?
No.
I have not, because I just drink mezcal just neat. I don't know that I've ever actually. I guess I've had it. What's the famous drink? A Paloma, I think it is, with mezcal. Yeah, so
old fashioned's not too bad.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe they're onto something. So maybe the Scotch thing can work in the States. All right. Yeah. Maybe it'll work better in the UFL where crossroads meet bullshit, guys, because boy, the stories just keep coming. The stories, I mean, just keep. Scenario in the playoffs, we got news breaking that the Michigan Panthers Ford Field will not be available to host a playoff game, apparently, and now there's rumblings that Aldi, the stadium in DC for soccer, not available either to host. So you guys better hope my Stallions get that 1 seed, because if not, where are they going to be playing this thing, huh?
Is there another graduation at Michigan? What happened up there? What's happening up there?
They have other stuff planned. I don't know that the article I read noted what it was.
Probably a graduation. I did read the UFL's plan is that if Michigan or DC are the number 1 seed, they will be the home team at the other team stadium. So it will be in Birmingham or Houston, if Houston were to be that, and it'll be at St. Louis or Arlington, depending who makes it there. So they'll be the home team though. They'll get to wear their home jerseys.
Oh, there you go. They get to choose heads or tails. That's good for them.
Right. They fucked this up last year. How is it happening again? How do you not? I'm willing to give you a pass. Your new league. How does it happen? Again.
Well, Michigan is the most upsetting one. DC, I get it. It's a cool stadium. They have the soccer fans there, whatever. Soccer is obviously big business. But Michigan, because that stadium's terrible for it. It's too big for it, you know what I mean? And they screwed you last year with a goddamn graduation ceremony. Instead of saying, all right, well, make sure it doesn't happen again next year. They obviously don't care about you. Move, like you said, move down the road. There's a great stadium right there that would look good optic-wise, and they'd be happy to have you. I mean, they keep trying to shoot their shot and make it like the NFL minor league, and it's not,
Yeah. I just feel like if you only have an 8-team league and you have 2 conferences, you have 4 stadiums that are eligible. And based on Houston with Curtis Johnson, you basically know you have 3 stadiums that are eligible for postseason play. Why would you not call in advance and say, we need this reserved in case, here's a down payment for, just
maybe the league just didn't believe that Mike Nolan was going to play Perkins as a starter all year. It's like, well, he'll screw it up somehow. They're not going to make the playoffs.
But still, DC I guess Birmingham's the old faithful. Birmingham. JMark, what you think of this news?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so unprofessional, right? I mean, this league is trying to market itself as a professional league, and this is just very B league type thing. Especially when it's not just 1 now, it's 2. You got to plan better for that. And then again, like CJ was saying, pick a different stadium. You can't just say, well, they're going to be the home team at the away team stadium. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Get another venue.
Stadium at least, something.
Guys, okay. I mean, CJ, I know you've been out there in Hollywood. I had buddies that worked on film sets. I just refuse to believe it's that hard to find a fucking football stadium.
That's what I
play
mean.
Football.
Get another venue. Do that. We do that when you drive on the road doing one-nighters in comedy. Like, oh, you can't put me up. All right, let's get on the horn, find another damn bar, do something. I mean, go where they'll have you.
I mean, is this an insurance thing? I'm just trying to think of why this is such a hard thing.
Yeah, I imagine.
Is that what it is?
All that. It's probably logistics and contracts with all the concessions and everything. But it's terrible. You can't have this. You can't just go on the road and say you're the home team.
Well, I guess in some cities, if Houston did make the playoffs, that might actually work. Birmingham, look, if it's one of those Friday nights, there was like 9 people there. 3 or 4 weeks ago on a Friday night. But yeah, just ridiculous news.
It's a good point. Why have any home playoff games? Just put them all in one stadium then. You know what I mean? Put them in a damn town.
Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium.
Yeah, go to Canton.
You're telling me you can't rent that out? Come on. You get the same amount of Michigan Panther fans there as you do in Detroit. It ain't that far of a drive. If anything, you got some Michigan people that are like, hey, let me go check out the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I'll catch this bullshit while I'm there. Unbelievable news. Unbelievable news. We're going to get to the games. We got obviously one kicking off tonight. But before we do that, I do want to let the good people know that my computer is freezing right now as I try to load up the ads. The UFL Gambling Podcast is a fine podcast, and we are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And look, have you seen these DGen hats we got going? I mean, yeah. DGen hats, DGen shirts. The line of gear is just fantastic. It is live in the merch store. And to celebrate DGen Nation, we're going to give you 20% off everything. The SGPN store, you can, get that at SGPN app is free to download in the App Store, Google Play Store. Also, you could go old school. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com, click on the store, and you will be able to get a nice shirt, hat, all that good stuff. Use the promo code DGens, and don't forget to let it ride, people. All right, we are back on the UFL Gambling Podcast, where crossroads meet bullshit. And I'm having some technical difficulties. Could you play? Could you play the slides?
Here we are.
Okay. Yeah.
Slides are up.
Yeah.
Friday night game.
They're not up for me. It's taking a sweet time down here in Columbia. There we go. Friday night game. The Memphis Showboats are at the San Antonio Brahmas at that filthy Alamo Dome. It's not a bum. There's been no reports if he's going to be there or not, but we think he's not going to miss out on those. What was it? Dollar hot dogs or something? What the fuck was it? Or the Pizza Hut thing? The Brahmas are laying 1. The over-under's at 36.5. I think they found something with Kevin Hogan. So, and I saw reports from Jim Turner saying he's going to play all 3 quarterbacks. That's a disaster. I think the Brahmas just turned into a lock. I will lay the 1. As far as the total, I'm going to take a shot on the over 36.5. Bet Detective, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I have I was telling before the show, before you even joined up, me and JMark were talking in the pre-meeting that I have an uncomfortable amount of money on the Brahmas tonight. I liked them before the Dresser win news, and then yesterday comes out, and the line only ticked up to 1.5 or so like that. Dresser win will be the 3rd string quarterback. They're starting Troy Williams, and EJ Perry will be the 2nd string quarterback. I mean, who's partially hurt, but I mean, it seems like it's more of a decision, like who cares? Because we're a 1-6 kind of situation. And like you said, there's a back-to-back Friday night games. That was not just Kevin Hogan. The whole Brahmas team looked different. The defensive line, everything was good. The players, there's going to be no Wes Hills for Memphis as well. He's out. San Antonio's getting Jacob Harris back, who has like 16.5 yards catch. He was their leading receiver. Kevin Hogan looked good, and they looked like they wanted to win too. You know what I mean? They look like a team that wanted to play. They all do, I believe. That is a good thing about the UFL. They're always trying to get something on tape. So it won't be like, well, season's over. Their season's technically over when it starts. But so I like I like the Brahmas tonight. I played them on the money line earlier. I put more of it on 1. It's at 1.5 now. I don't care. I'm putting more on it. I think they win this. I mean, I don't want to say comfortably, but I think they get this win.
Yeah. You say like the over? What was that?
I didn't say that, but if I had to play it, I would play the over. I'm a little worried. Be honest with you, I'm a little worried with Memphis and Troy Williams. They have been playing a better offense, but that was with Dresser win. 36.5 is a low enough number where I believe them to get there. I've definitely played the over before I played the under, but Brahmas is my favorite play.
JMark, you defended both these teams at many points this season. What are you doing here at that filthy Alamo Dome?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys, taking the Brahmas. They're just the better team. I mean, both these teams kind of suck, but they are the better team right now. And Dresser Wynn came in, and it seemed like he made the Showboats a little bit better, provided a little bit of spark. I don't think you go back to Troy Williams, the guy that didn't have the spark, and kind of get that boost that you normally get in the UFL when you start somebody new. We've already seen what he can do. So yeah, I'm all over the Brahmas here. I think there's just too much going on for the Showboats as far as the quarterback changes, playing all the quarterbacks, the injury at running back. Their defense is pretty decent. So I do think that they will limit the Brahmas more than DC did. We've seen DC's defense kind of become very porous. But so I like the under on this one. I'm on the opposite side of that with you guys. I think you could see a similar thing with the Battlehawks and Showboats where it was 19-9. I think you could see a similar score just like that. Low scoring, defense holding the Brahmas, but they're still putting enough points up to cover this game.
All right, we differ on the total, but agree on the side. Let's jump to slide 2, if you don't mind. Slide master, please jump.
It's up. You'll get it in 5 minutes, but it's up for everyone else.
The Birmingham Stallions are in Saturday in St. Louis, Missouri.
Simultaneous games, Colby.
I can't believe I didn't catch that originally when we were talking about that on Tuesday. What are they doing by playing 2 games at the same time?
Maybe they're hoping combined the 4 teams can make one good game. So if you can put 2 TVs, in there.
Man.
And for a league that is dependent on ratings,
yes.
Why? For some people, I'll be on the road, so I have to pick just one game to watch. I'll be watching on my phone. I can't watch both.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing? Like, you're killing your ratings by doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when there's one good game and then there's the other one. This is their prime game of the weekend. The 2 division leaders. You would think this would be, if anything, it would be the Friday night game. But it's to have another game going on at the same time, right? It just shoots themselves in the foot. But that's the UFL.
Yeah, that's what they like to do. Shout out to UFL Jeff. He sucks. Look, JMark Smith was named starting quarterback. McGo still not going to play. I think second string was Cookus, I believe, right? Or was he third? I saw the chart, but JMark Smith is getting the start, which is all the reason I need to just hammer down on Birmingham. This will be my largest wager. Surprise, surprise. Look, here's something that to me, Birmingham's got the best run defense in the league based on stats, right?
Yep.
St. Louis got the best rush offense in the league.
Yep.
So I think they're going to make Andy Dalton. That's another TCU quarterback. Max Duggan throw the ball, and we'll see if he can. I am a Max Duggan guy, but he has struggled to throw the ball a little bit in this league. So if he's able to do it, I think maybe the Battlehawks do win. But I think JMark Smith and the Stallions are going to get this offense rolling. So I will take. Actually, you can keep that 1.5. This is a money line play. And I will take the over 39.5 because I think the Stallions are going to put up some points.
Wow.
Bet detective?
Interesting. Yeah. Well, it is supposed to be the great game. Like you said, they're going to have all 4 quarterbacks on there. They have, I think you listed JMark Smith, then Mr. Magoo, then Cookus, and then
Magoo's out now. He's out.
He is now out?
He's out for this game. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because I know he came back and made him active this week during practice, but it's interesting. Like, doesn't matter. Like you said, JMark Smith, Cookus, even Peasley was in there. Peasley was banged up, but he's a good UFL style quarterback. That being said, all the points you just made, Birmingham does stop the run. St. Louis does run the ball. They're also missing their, they've always been missing that lineman Abdul Beachman, St. Louis. That makes it a little bit tougher on them. This is a game they've been waiting for, though. It's in St. Louis, best home field advantage in the league. Revenge game from last year. I know they didn't make the championship, but that was a game they could have won. That was two different rosters, obviously, with A.J. McCarron. That being said, St. Louis team has been a bit smoke and mirrors. They've been playing good defense. They don't look impressive in the eye test. Now I know I've been fading Birmingham all year. Me and JMark have. They against the even though last week was that debacle, they're still only 3-4 against the spread. But at the same time, this is the first time I've seen Birmingham being underdog, and almost since we've been doing this show. I like fading them as a big numbered favorite this year because they're not the same team, but I'm not passing on Birmingham getting points in any situation, really. So I know I took 2.5 earlier. I'll take the 1.5. I'm with you. I think Birmingham wins this game. They're still a better team. As much as I talk shit about them, they're still a better team.
This traitor, this goddamn
traitor
coming in.
Traitor. It's called a game by game situation. I was right on the handicapping by taking with Houston. But I'm not the biggest battle. JMark's the battle hawk guy. I do like the under though.
I don't bring the head cold, but they're counting down. It's 7, easy to 6, see 5. A tide.
I do like the under though for all the reasons that you've mentioned. That it'll be tough running the ball, and Birmingham does have a weird quarterback situation. They don't put up a lot of points unless they're making historic comebacks against Houston. So I think 39.5 is pretty high for. This is gonna be a hard fought game. It's gonna be a good game. I'm actually excited for this game.
I took the over just because I feel like the under was the easy play, and I think the Stallions offense. Jamar Smith's been in that offense for like 20 years. I feel like so.
But didn't you say he was working at Pizza? He was doing the Pizza Hut parties 2 weeks ago.
Dunkin' Donuts, man. Dunkin' Donuts. He was part of that Affleck J-Lo commercial before shit went downhill. All right. Yeah. Look, the Stallions. I can't believe this guy, this prick. JMark, should we give him this, or should we veto his pick? What are you doing here, JMark, at that filthy battle dome with these battle birds?
Yeah, I mean, JMark and Skip Holtz aren't going to be able to stand the pressure in the battle dome. No, I'm just kidding. I don't exactly know why the Battlehawks are favored based on how they looked. I know their defense has played fairly well, but so is the Stallions defense. And because these two defenses, I would say those are the strengths of each of these teams. I like the under on this one, whether it's the easy pick or not. I do like the under. And I like CJ said, you don't see the Stallions as underdogs. I don't know if we've ever seen them as underdogs in spring football. Maybe week 1 when the USFL first started, they were underdogs, but since then, they've always been favored. We haven't trusted them this year to cover those big favorites. I feel like they've been getting too many points at certain times because we haven't seen them be dominant, but as underdogs, I think it's silly not to take them. I don't understand why they are the underdogs. That makes me a little bit nervous. It seems too obvious, but I don't think the Battlehawks can do this. I'm on the Stallions money line. I don't need the points.
Wow, look at that! Now that is the trader. He's going against his own Battlehawks there, Cole. Real quickly, it's to Kimberly in the chat here who wants to know if we put out player props. JMark tweets them out. We want to know JMark is our tweeter, so make sure you follow JMark on X to get all the player props. We of course do give out DFS lineups at the end of the show after all our great bomb picks. So also stay tuned to that.
Yeah. And by the way, I do think they might have been dogs against the Battlehawks a year ago.
They were not. They were at home.
No?
I remember that. Yes, I remember that game. And they did a bullshit cover as well.
What about the Renegades week 1 last year?
Week 1 Renegades? What are you talking about? The champions, the dogs, or the Renegades? Week 1?
No, but the Renegades were the champs of the XFL coming into that.
I know what they were, but they weren't Birmingham.
I think Birmingham is still favored. I don't know. There's not a lot of historical
I thought there was
data
one
to go
spot.
back on that,
I know. You try Googling that. Good luck.
I'll have to check my Trapper Keeper for that. I do have my UFL files in there.
I believe.
Go ahead.
What's that? No, I believe they were dogs like randomly one time.
All right.
I thought not this year. I'm saying
sure.
Merging into the league. But what were you going to say, JMark?
Oh, just speaking of props, Max Duggan, I mean, we know he's not done it in the air. He has done it with his legs. His line is set at 51.5 rushing yards. I think the Stallions are going to shut that down a little bit. I don't think he's going to get that much, so I like him to go under that.
Yeah, that's a pretty high number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take the under on that as well. All right, Slide Master, can we get on to the game going on at the same time with both games kicking off with that foo-foo kickoff bullshit? What is this, 10 a.m., 9 a.m.? I don't fucking remember. But the Michigan Panthers are heading down to TDECU RDU Airport Stadium there in Houston. My Roughnecks, Curtis Johnson's got them right where they want them. These Michigan Panthers, Bryce Perkins. This is the game. Nolan pulls Perkins. This is it. He's going to look too good and say, whoa. The playoffs are in a few weeks, guys. I think the Roughnecks, who are catching 5.5, by the way, the over-under at 43.5.
Who's this Benedict here? Now all of a sudden you're Roughnecks.
I don't get Rain Man.
Well, the logic is this. I can't trust Nolan. All right. Mm-hmm. I can't trust him to make the right decisions. The league needs the Roughnecks to win this game, or we know the playoff situation. And they need the Roughnecks just for a home game. So think about that angle too. They need the Roughnecks to win out, and all these other teams to lose, just so they can have a proper home field.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, look, they play twice in 3 weeks. I think JMark alluded to that last episode. The offense was flying a little bit there, and Michigan Panthers, they could just keep getting hit with the injury bug. So I think the Roughnecks plus 5.5 is a solid play. I will sprinkle that money line. And I also will take the over 43.5. And shout out to Derek in the chat saying, is this the worst coaching matchup of all time?
Well, well, you're not a big fan of Noel, but I know it's anytime Curtis Johnson goes up against anyone, there's an opportunity for it to be the worst coaching matchup of all time, even if it's against the doorman. Lucky for you, this line's even gone up. It's 6.5 and 44.5. I'm seeing now, which is pretty wild on DraftKings right now. I'm with you. I'm taking Houston plus the points. Despite the collapse last week, which has got to be disheartening, they're still playing better football. They're still a much better Houston team with McClendon. There was talks of McClendon coming out now because of the season, but the season is still on the line. And I like that angle of like, listen, the league going to, we need you. We're in a pinch here. We're going to need your house for the party. All right. We booked the party, but we don't have the house to throw it in. I heard your parents are out of town, so we're going to have to do that. This game, what network is this even going to be on as everyone's watching everyone, us and whoever else in the chat is going to watch the Birmingham St. Louis game. But is this on Tubi or something like this? We've been running at the same exact time.
That's a good question. Let me load that up real quick.
They're both listed as being on Fox. So it's a regional thing.
They're doing old school college football. I can't tell you enough how shitty the 90s were in a way, because growing up in the Washington D.C. area, I'd be stuck with Maryland against Wake Forest while Oklahoma and Texas are playing.
What an audacious mentality to think that these people in their region will want to watch their team only in UFL. Listen, be happy they're watching any damn UFL game. Give them the good game and put this at a separate time.
If anything, isn't this a sample size that regionality does not work because no one goes to their games?
Yeah, right. Imagine if they did that and it blacked out unless it's sold out. Yeah, well, then we're not seeing any games. But that being said, like you said, Frank Ginda did get hurt. The UFL's leading tackler, so that's another bad one. Obviously, when they lost. Matt Colburn looked pretty good though. He'll be back. He's an explosive runner, so he will add to that Michigan rush attack. I'm worried. I'm not as excited as I was last week with Houston getting points because I think they're maybe a little bit deflated. I just think and Michigan could run all over him if they wanted to. Perkins' ankle is supposed to be a little messed up too, so he might not run as much. Not that that'll matter. Michigan will get the win, but I'll take the 6.5, and 44.5 just seems a little high, right? You got to go under.
I went over just thinking if Perkins does play the whole game, you know, like what happens if he does play the whole game? I mean, I don't feel great about the total in this matchup. If I'm just picking it to pick it, but I'll take the over. But I do think the Roughnecks are live. JMark, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I hate that we're so far all agreeing on sides. That seems dangerous. But McClendon should be 3-0 as their starter. They had that epic collapse against Birmingham, of course, so they're 2-1. But he's turned this team around to where they're watchable. They're watchable on offense. He's zipping the ball faster, so fast sometimes the guys aren't catching it. They're like, "Well, I was not used to that kind of zip from a UFL quarterback." And I just think, this is a situational spot where they know they have to win this game. They have to play their asses off to try to keep their playoff hopes alive. And I think they're going to do that because for whatever reason, they seem to like Curtis Johnson. These players seem to like him. So I think they're going to play for him. And whether they win this or not, I don't know, but they are going to keep it close. So I like Houston plus 6.5. I like the over 2. I think this is going to be a high scoring game.
Is there any chance?
As Derek says in the chat, who will punt first on 4th and 1 from their opponent's 40 for this coaching matchup? I mean, that was the thing last week we talked about with Houston. They're coming back punting from the 4th down on the opponent's 40 when all you need is a field goal really to cement this game, and like just absolute insanity. What are we doing? It's the UFL. Roll the dice.
That's classic Curtis Johnson. All right, let's let the defense figure it out. Guys, random question here. Do you guys have the ad reads? Because I can't get there right now. This computer might you know what? They should be using this in terrorism. This computer, I feel like just throw this thing and do something.
Sure.
I feel like it's about to blow up.
Toss up a slide here. What do we need to do here? We went over NRA here. Should we tell them about rhythm? Is that what you want me to do?
Just the first. Get to the first segment there.
Well, I feel like that was all the pre-show. Edge Boost you got to talk about, right? The first ever bank account built for bettors.
Sure. Yeah, get on over there.
Yeah, ensures all gamblers' transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% proof of all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match that deposit at the edgeboost.bet promo code SGPN. And you guys know the Preakness is right around the corner. It's tomorrow. You might see a drunk man try to punch a horse. You won't see a security guard stop him because if a man wants to kill himself, he's going to kill himself. Anyway, you don't have to kill yourself because there's no better time to get on the action at NYRA Bets. Sign up today using promo code SGPN200. Score a $200 deposit match bonus. Don't wait. Head to nyrabets.com, SGPN200. Claim your $200 deposit match bonus today. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN200. And of course, we got to talk about Underdog. The greatest way to play fantasy sports, just for cash, straight cash. Time for you, the Underdog bonus pick 'em. It just launched a new game, The Ladders. I wonder where they got that title from. The Ladders, good for them, not the laddie daddy himself. Win up to $500 to your favorite players climbing the ladder. An entry player, I'll give him an Underdog entry player. I like that Pritchard tonight for the Celtics. They got another white guy. Those when the going gets tough, the Celtics throw whites out there and they start scoring. Pritchard higher than 16.5 points. Sign up for promo code SGPN. Claim your special pick. First time deposit up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And we're back on the UFL Gambling Podcast Show,
where crossroads meet bullshit. Great read, buddy. I don't know what's happening with this computer. I don't know if we're gonna make it.
We got it. Here's the fourth.
I got my Birmingham lock out of the way. But yeah. So Sunday's game, which by the way, what is this? Anyone got an idea on the network on this one?
Yeah, the Sundays are always weird. Sundays are usually ESPN in the morning, right? Because this is early AM, I believe.
Yeah. This is probably the second best game of the week.
ABC.
ABC. Oh, yeah, this is an ABC
televised.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. The Arlington Renegades are heading into Aldi Stadium there to take on these DC Defenders. DC's laying 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm all over Arlington here. This is one that I feel decent about. I just think DC's now. my analysis of this is like Arlington's defense, I think, can actually make DC's offense struggle a little bit. The question is, can Arlington's offense do anything? But I think this line went up to 3, by the way. But I will take the Renegades and the points, and I might even play it just on the money line because I think they're a more complete team than DC right now. So give me the Renegades. I do like the under 43.5 in this game. What are you doing here, Bet Detective?
All right. DraftKings looking at 42.5, 42.5. I'll give you the 43.5 though, but you're taking the 2.5. You're not getting 3. I won't give you that.
Okay. Just taking the money line then.
This is a good game. Playoff implications, obviously. If DC wins this game, they clinch the playoff spot. So I do think they had the motivation. These guys just played in a great game a couple weeks ago. It was a back and forth affair, huge comeback. DC hasn't played home in a while, it seems like, right? I haven't seen the Beer Snake in a minute, it seems like. And now there's rumors that they can't host a playoff game. Sometimes we forget how that can be a nice, lively home field advantage down there in DC. Arlington should have won last week. They should have beat Michigan. They got Dean Blandino'd, and Stoops was
like
not
so
happy.
Many teams do in this league.
Yeah, like this whole league does. We're all at the mercy of Lord Dino Blandino from the booth. He giveth and taketh away. And he tooketh away Arlington's season basically last week with that loss. That was a horrific loss standing wise for what they could have done and what it was. I do think they're going to be deflated. I mean, I know I said that at the top of the show that they always trying to put something on tape, but that was a tough one, and especially the way it played out. And they were acting like that afterwards, and hey, I shook off my bet, fellas. Let's move on. Come on, we got to move on to the next game. But I like DC. I've liked DC all year. They play with a different chip on their shoulder this year. I mean, I think they're on a mission. They know at home, win and you're in the playoffs. 2.5 is short enough number. I like their offense. I know Arlington does have a good pass defense. They can give them problems, but they just keep coming, DC, and then it's unrelenting, and like that's how it was a couple weeks ago. And then what did they put up, like 38 points on?
So you're trusting the league though. They need Arlington. See, this is an interesting spot because in a way, they need Arlington to lose to solidify St. Louis making the playoffs. But they also, I don't think they want DC to clinch because there's games remaining that you need some viewership for. But then again, sometimes I think they don't even give a fuck about anything. Hence the 2 games going on at the same exact time.
Yeah, I don't even think the league knows they clinch if they get in. This came from other blogs and websites.
JMark, what are you doing here in the nation's capital?
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to come down to the wire, just like it did last time between these two. But I am on Arlington to win this one. They've just been losing too many games recently that I think they are going to turn around and finally win one here. It is the home field advantage of DC will come into play. But last time we saw them lose at home, the Beer Snake was weak. And, does DC really care at this point? It's hard to gauge whether the fans care about the Beer Snake anymore. But I do think, both these quarterbacks, I think Luis Perez looked good last week. He had a couple games in a row.
Don't say it. Don't jinx it.
He had a couple games in a row where he had looked bad, with the interceptions, the fumbles. He looked good last week against Michigan. I think Michigan's got a much better defense than DC. Yeah. So I think he's going to look good again. Jordan Thomas is going to get behind. He's going to throw his interceptions. So yeah, give me Arlington and Stoops to win this one outright.
Well, this is the JMark quarterback hater ball right here. Tamu versus the King of Spring. But he does bring up a good point. I did mention I also like the over here. I don't care that it's a rematch. DC is just an auto overplay with their horrible defense and their explosive offense. So like until further notice, you just play the over. I mean, it flew last week for San Antonio, and that was a small number because of San Antonio. But I don't care what this is. 42, 43, play the over.
Yeah, I mean, I know Arlington's offense sputters sometimes, but DC's defense is getting worse every week. So I feel like Arlington might be able to actually produce some points in this matchup. All right, let's get to some DFS action. But before we do that, fire away. Bet detective on the,
well, of course. Before we get to the DFS, we got to talk to you about Rhythm. I mean, they're making models of. I'm sure they could put up a great lineup. It's your home for AI back picks and props. You dominate the NBA playoffs, baseball prop market with Rhythm. Build your own model, simple and easy. They know you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial today. 7-day free trial. They like SGA under 7.5 assists. I can't say I disagree with that. It's got some amazing deals going on now. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25. 50% off annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM. Promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And we're also brought to you by MyBookie. MyBookie, wherever I bet, he bets. MyBookie AG. It's your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs, plus props for every game. For the true degens, the MyBookie money bag, spin the wheel and get what they give you. Accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, even Colombia, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. A bet that we all like, of course, on mybookie.ag, where you get all your UFL action. The Brahmas tonight, minus the 1.5 to dominate those awful showboats. So head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000 terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And finally, the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway. The Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas giving away the ultimate fantasy football for experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for the stay. If you have a 14-team league, 2 of you can zoom in because the winner receives a 2-night stay at Circa Resort Casino for an entire 12-person league, 6 double king rooms. Hold the draft at the Cabana Stadium Swim with $5,000 food and beverage credit. That'll get you at least 2 bottles of whiskey there. Limo transportation to and from the airport. Welcome Party Legacy Club. A reservation at the world's largest sportsbook with a $500 beverage credit for the league. 2-hour open bar at the Overhang. Contest from May 5th to June 30th. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. There it is. When we're back.
I mean, $5,000.
Yeah.
You know how many jalapeno poppers that is?
That's a lot out. That's a lot. It's so funny though. And like I've had that before. You have to hit your minimum, when you have those cabanas. You're like,
we walked into one of those, man. Me and you.
Right. Exactly. Hit the fruit plates. $80, whatever. Get 2. We need to hit the minimum.
Yeah. Me and the bet detective were out in Vegas for March Madness, and we walked into our pals Venezia's Pizza, their party. They had a booth, and they needed they're like, we need to run like $3,000 by the end of the day.
Yeah, no problem.
Way in the hole.
Glad to help, fellas.
Oh man. DFS wise, unfortunately, for whatever happened 2 years ago when we were doing the show, and I was down in Colombia, I had no problem entering a DFS lineup, but somehow these bastards changed their rules. These DraftKings bastards, or the country, the politics. So I cannot be a part of this DFS experiment. So I can't even pull up the screen to see the pricing, man. So I just want to know, have they adjusted Jamar Smith, or is he a value play right now?
Oh, interesting. Well, let's take a look. You can't even look at the menu, huh?
I can't even get to the menu, man. It doesn't let me go in. And let's switch the shot to all 3 of our stupid faces.
Jamar Smith is the 5th highest quarterback, with Magoo even priced higher than him, but he's still at 9,300. Tamu is the most expensive at 11K. Perkins 10.8 right underneath him. Then Magoo, Dugan, and Smith. And Cookus. It's funny, they have all 3 Birmingham quarterbacks in between 9,800 and 9,300 because they don't know, just like anyone else knows. So he's not a bad value at 9,300. I'll tell you, almost 2,000 less than Tamu. So
what's McClellan's price?
That's not a bad call either. He's at 9,100, and then you get my value would be Hogan at 9,000.
Yeah. I all those make a lot of sense. Who'd you end up going with, Hogan?
I went with Tamu. Why not?
Oh man,
I just love it. I just love his vibe. Like I said, no one throws the ball down. It's not even close how much they throw the ball downfield more than anyone else. Like his 20-yard plus passes is something like 45 a game, and the next closest is like 18 or something. It's crazy the difference in numbers.
Yeah. JMark, what'd you do at the quarterback spot, buddy?
Yeah, 314 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. He's 9,200. Give me Luis Perez against that Forest.
Spring.
TC defender.
You must have got his book and he got to the 3rd chapter and it changed his whole goddamn opinion of the Spring King. Wow. There we go. It makes a lot of sense though, that defense without Greg Williams has been ass. Running back spot. We know McFarland decided to go back to working at Uno Pizza. So he's out. What didn't they pick up somebody? Did they pick up Sheridan? Did they pick up Sheridan?
They
They did.
Yeah. They absolutely did. Yep.
So San Antonio has Sheridan, who was just recently cut by the Michigan Panthers.
All right.
I would assume he gets a little bit of burn with McFarland out, but what are you guys doing at the running back spot? CJ?
I did go with the Brahmas running, but I went with Sean Corbin, who looked great against DC. I mean, granted it was against DC's defense, but maybe there was something to putting McFarland on ice there, you know what I mean? And not even worried about giving him any carries. And Corbin looked fast and explosive, and he just made like single cuts and like all day he looked great. So at what was he priced at? He's priced at 7,300. So, and like I'm like I said, I got a little too much money on San Antonio, and I'm stacking some Brahmas on DFS as well. I think they're gonna have a nice night tonight.
JMark, I like it though. I do think they're gonna have a nice night too. JMark, what are you doing at the running back spot?
Yeah, so Matthew Colburn has been ruled out. He's inactive. So I think that means we get a heavy dose again of Toatawa. Yeah. He's 8,800, a little expensive, but he scored a touchdown in each of the last 4 games. He had 2 3 weeks ago. I think he's going to get a healthy dose of carries. He seems to find the end zone. So give me
that might be the best. That might be the best offensive line in the league too. Like when you watch them block, I think they might be the best offensive line in the league. So I would load up on him. I love that play. So yeah, I would get on that action. Bet Detective, did you have him on your lineup?
I did not. I did not, because I did think Colburn was playing, but that is definitely news that he's inactive, because they talked about how he's back. You know, I liked Colburn. He's explosive. I was going to play him, but he did think it would cut into some of the Taub, who is definitely more expensive than when we used to play him, but he's still worth it. I mean, he is their bell cow, and he produces every week. I did have another running back. This is my sleeper running back. I mentioned him last week. I think he does play. They signed him a week ago. I think he could be the best player in the league. Tony Jones Jr. He's out there for Arlington. I mean, they lost Kalen Ballage. D.D. Hunter is banged up now. He might not go. I mean, they might be forced to play Tony Jones Jr., who's a service, not just at the Notre Dame of the Irish, but play in the NFL, play for the Saints, and he's raring to go against this horrendous DC defense, and you can get him for $4,000. So he's my bargain basement, possibly the best player in the league.
I like it. I like it. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, all the other players that have been randomly picked up late into a season have been the best players in the league. So
they said he is going to get in there this week. So that's all I needed to hear.
There you go. There you go. How many running backs? JMark, do you have a second running back?
I do have a second running back, and I almost went with Tony Jones Jr. as well. I think that's an excellent play. I was scared a little bit by, does he get in there mean he gets 4 carries, or is he going to lead the backfield? So I did, but I think that's a great play. I think he's going to get more carries than just 4. I think it's great value. I went a different route. I stayed in tonight's game just because San Antonio's run defense is not that great. And with Hills injured, I think we're going to get another dose of Deneric Prince. He had 17 carries last week, only 44 yards, but I think he gets more than
that 77. One stat's good. Yeah, the one stat's
right,
good.
Yeah. I think if he gets another, 15 or so carries, he's going to have more than 44 yards against this Brahmas defense. He's 6,300. So yeah, give me Deneric Prince.
Yeah, Prince is a solid play. I definitely looked him up too. With Hills being out, it's almost like an auto play there. The only problem is, like you said, I don't know if he's good at football.
Always something to ponder and the DFS angles of the UFL. But shout out to JP in the chat. Caught the live show.
Yes.
Woo. There we go.
Got an
Appreciate
excellent logo there. Iowa Hawkeyes logo.
Oh, there he goes. He owns a no turn. Right. He loves taco pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not having fan belt problems.
Clutch belt.
Clutch belt.
Wait.
See what happens when I talk no turn lingo in there?
Any other running backs on your roster, guys?
That's it. Just the 2.
That was it for me as well.
Yeah, running back plays are limited in this league.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to give out a few running backs there, it's like JMark said, Tao is the best, Prince is the best. Other than that, Birmingham did look better, but they're just priced on there. But I think actually I kind of like JMark is the most two popular running backs there, I would say.
Yeah. Casey's Pizza for the win, says JP.
See?
Bet Detective, you done this? You done this Casey's bullshit or what? Is this legit?
I've done Casey's. It's garbage. It's a gas station pizza that they swear by. They take you over there and say, what's the other one? Taco Jack. There's like a 6-pack of taco. I mean, everything they do is like a gas station, a drive-through. You go to a Hy-Vee. There's a smile in every aisle.
Taco John's. You get 6-pack.
Taco John. That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what it's called. Taco John, 6-pack at a pound. Which
6 tacos and a pound of potato olays.
Wow. Taco John's. That's probably still better than that Pizza Hut that the UFL is throwing out there. These Pizza Hut parties.
A lot of Pizza Hut slander I heard on the last show there because UFL.
Oh, are you one with the Hut?
I'm a former employee of the Pizza Hut. I actually got workers comp for the Pizza Hut, and I burned my skin off my foot trying to perforate pasta sauce in the water came, boiling water came and burned my legs. I used to work at the full restaurant ones where they fill your cup with ice and the root beer.
I miss those.
Yeah,
my favorite part of going cross country in America is you run into like some of these old towns where you could tell that's an old Pizza Hut, but now it's just
right.
Now it's like a mom and pops like
or
restaurant.
Now it's a bank with a Pizza Hut roof on it.
Yeah, there was they only had one style of building. Like I actually think you could probably go in there and say, that's for architecture. You could say, give me the Pizza Hut model. I think that's a real thing. But they're still scattered. There's some North Carolina.
They're great.
They're still scattered through the country.
People forget that salad bar that they would have, and like that, and they did the soda right. They'd fill your cup with ice, that crushed pebble ice,
that plastic red cup, that thick red cup. Yeah, it's fire.
Amazing. And then the root beer without the ice, so you pour it in and you get more soda for it. It's incredible.
And they would always have Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I still think, I don't know if you guys remember this from when you were kids, but I still think when I read a book, I should get a personal pan pizza. I mean, that's how it worked as a kid, right?
Absolutely. For goddamn right.
Well, speaking of which, I did see that. Let me see if I can give a guy. We're talking Notre Dame running backs a minute ago. Bet Detective. Yep. Did you see Ricky Waters has a new children's book out?
No. What's Ricky Running Waters have there? For who? For what?
I'm gonna have to send this to the studio over here. It's called Shane children's book. It's about Ricky Waters, about his journey from being adopted as a kid to adopting his son Shane. So check out Ricky Waters' book Shane out there. We are definitely going to send a copy to Kramer and Sean so they get that thing in the studio. But
Ricky Waters had one of the quickest fallouts in Philadelphia sports history.
Oh yeah,
he was
the alligator arm that thing against
the
Dallas,
alligator arm. Yeah. Week 1, it was week 1. Yeah. The alligator, the first game as the big time free agent Ricky Waters, and then they asked him afterwards, "Why don't you lay out?" He goes, "For who? For what?" Okay, all right. Well, that's not gonna win over some fans here. For who? For what?
Yeah. I mean, in Philly, a town like that, come on.
You can't say that your first game.
Yeah. Wide receivers, they're known to alligator arms. These wide receivers these days, as my dad would say, these prima donnas, all right, sitting over there thinking they make all this goddamn money doing their dance. Where'd you go with top wideout, Bet Detective?
Top wideout, I went since I have Tamu, I'm going to go with Roland for the high price connection. He had a goose egg last week. I don't think that happens in back-to-back weeks for him. Before that, he's just been dominating the league, at least DFS wise, fantasy wise. You can still get him for $9,000, which isn't the most expensive receiver, which I think he should be each week. So he's just downfield threat. All three of the DC receivers are great. Pick your poison with them. So I like Roland in a bounce back spot here for 9K as my top hookup with Tamu.
There we go. I'm sorry, I was sidetracked. I like the roll and play. I've been playing him since he was a Philadelphia Star. But just the fact that we have some banter in the chat about going to the UFL Championship game.
Yeah, first shout out former Gladiator Dog Pizza Hut employees. What up? We're a family.
Amen. Get in there. But JMark, you're gonna look at Father's Day gift going down to the UFL Championship game.
I won't be able to make it, unfortunately, but.
Just it's a month away. You're already. What do you got planned that week?
What a great Father's Day gift that is. Hey, Dad, we hate you. Here's the UFL Championship gift. Just kidding. That sounds amazing, actually.
JMark, who's your top wideout?
Yeah, so I only have one wide receiver. Ran the double running back, double tight end set here. But I went with Colby. You should like this one. Deon Cain for Birmingham with JMark Smith back. I think those two are going to connect well. He did have 9 targets last week for 63 yards. Now, a lot of that was before JMark came back in, but still, I think he's their number one guy. I mean, I know they got a lot of talent, a lot of receivers. Amari Rodgers is out, and so I think Deon Cain's going to get even more targets. So, yeah, give me Deon Cain. He's 8,400. So I think he's pretty good priced for what you get.
I'm thinking also like JMark Smith at La Tech. Love throwing to the tight end. So I was thinking Sternberger or what's the other tight end? Thomas, I think it is. I think both those guys have value this week. I don't know if you guys rostered any of those. I know Sternberger has been a nemesis of yours, Bet Detective, but your second wideout, CJ.
First of all, I like that Deon Cain pick. I eyed him up as much. Well, I think he's the only one you can lean towards for that. I do think he's going to have a big week. Didn't have room for him because I decided to go with Justin Hall instead, who's also been just a sheer volume. McClendon's pure number one. He loves him. He throws him in this game versus Michigan. You guys think there's going to be a ton of points. I do too. Maybe not as high as that, but and if anything, game script will have Houston throwing the ball as well. So Jordan Hall, I think he's going to rack up a lot of numbers. 9,200, a little bit pricey, but thanks to Tony Jones and my next bargain bin receiver, I can afford them.
There we go. JMark, what about you for your tight end then, your top tight end?
Yeah, well, you kind of buried the lead and gave him away. That's okay though. Jay Sternberger. I mean, JMark and Sternberger, they were connecting originally when JMark was the starter. And Sternberger looked good last week, finished with 17.4 fantasy points. That was 4 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown on 7 targets. He's only 4,600. So if he can keep up that pace, if he is back to the form we're used to him seeing, that's very cheap.
Yeah. No, I think he's a value play this week. I just remember DFS lineups, on the college football experience where the latex tight end, I'm trying to remember who the fuck it was, his name, but he would get a shit ton of targets in that Skip Holtz offense, which JMark Smith was the quarterback. So there might be some value on that. Bet Detective, you use your value play. What do you got left at the wide receiver spot?
Yeah, that's also a little value play I talked about up top for tonight. I'm a little Brahmas heavy, and I said Jacob Harris is coming back, and they need all the receiver help they can get. He was their leading receiver. He played, obviously, he's talent. He played for the Rams for a couple of years, played for the Jaguars just a couple of years. I think he was a 2021 draft pick. 16.5 yards per catch. He's their big play guy. He's their number one receiver. I don't see why they won't work him right back in. I don't think I'm not afraid of any kind of pitch count. With Kevin Hogan back there, this offense looked good. They put up 30 points or whatever it was, 24, 30 points. Give me Jacob Harris at $5K. So I think it's a pretty good value.
I like it. I like that one. $5K. JMark, what do you got left? Another tight end, huh?
Yep, and that is a good play, CJ. I like it as well. I like to stack with my quarterback. I kind of wanted Tyler Vaughn's, but I thought I was chasing the points from last week if I did that. So I ended up going with Sal Cannella. I do think this DC defense is a little porous. Sal Cannella is a little expensive, $7,900, but I mean, that's Luis Perez's guy. He had 7 targets last week, 6 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Woo. Guess I'm still chasing some points here, but give me Sal Cannella, a little case of Sal Cannella.
Yeah,
there you go.
A little case of Sal Cannella. I like that.
He's a spring legend. There should be a whole chapter in that Spring of King book about Sal Cannella. Bet Detective, you have any more utilities?
Nope, just we're on the defense now here. I think we're all got our lineups in there. I have the money for any defense I want, thanks to those things, but I'm still going to leave 500 over because I'm going Brahmas heavy. I think as soon as I heard Troy Williams is the starting quarterback tonight for Memphis, I mean, what are we doing here? Yeah, at home, San Antonio, son of a bum in the building. I was actually eyeing up Birmingham. I don't think they're a bad defensive play this week there, like you said, just because of the way St. Louis's offense has been pathetic, and they can score. But yeah, give me this juvenated Brahmas defense against Troy Williams and possibly hope EJ Perry.
Yeah. It's not a bad angle. I couldn't believe when I read that. As a Jim Turner, this is the only time he's ever been a head coach, and it will be the last time that he is a head coach with decisions like that. JMark, what do you do on the defensive side of the ball here?
Yeah, like CJ, I could afford any defense. And when you look at the top ones, the Panthers against Houston, I don't like that because Houston's been able to move the ball fairly well. The next one is the Defenders, and their defense is porous, so I don't like that. The next one is the Battlehawks. I think Birmingham is going to be able to put up points on them. So I settled with the fourth defense there, and that was the Brahmas.
Yes.
I just think that they have a good matchup against the Boats. And give me the Brahmas. It's 4,000. I'm leaving 800 on the table, but I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, there we go. Leaving 800 on the table. Folks, that is our show. Make sure you check out JMark on Twitter at JMark Football, and check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Also check out the CFL Gambling Podcast, which me and him host. Don't worry, the Bet Detective doesn't show up on those shows because he's anti-Canada ever since he did a spot in Manitoba. But also check out the Bet Detective in the bottom line. He's on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. What'd you guys tackle this week, by the way?
Threw some PGA bombs. Bryson DeChambeau had a nice day today, a little bounce back. So hopefully we'll get him. We gave him out at 8-1. So also some real long shots, including Max Homa at 175-1, who is now 4 under on the top of the leaderboard today. Just saying. I'm not saying it's obviously not over, but he's in the top. He's in the leaderboard right now, and we gave him out at 175-1.
Whew, I like it. I like it. Get on over there. JMark, what'd you guys tackle this week?
We tackled nothing this week because it was a hellish busy week. But we're going to be hitting up NFL news, all your headlines that are coming in, NFC changes, and of course, whiskey.
There you go.
There you go.
We didn't even mention JMark's Bears. The story that came out where Caleb Williams almost played in the UFL because he didn't want to go to Chicago so much.
Dude, why would he not just come back to USC? Because he signed with an agent? Is that the angle?
It actually would have been smart because once you do go to UFL, you give up your rights and you bypass the draft, and then he literally could have signed with anyone he wanted to. That would have been
CFL offers way more money. Why would you not go to this? I know you.
How great would he be though as a showboat running around out there? Come on.
You remember when Rocket Ishmael did that, right?
Of course, yeah.
Rocket Ishmael. I mean, I guess the OG USFL did it too, though, with a bunch of guys.
That's all they did was poach NFL players. Jim Kelly, Doug Flutie,
Herschel Walker. Yeah, that would have been great. Instead, he's a Chicago Bear. Biggest mistake of his career. Yeah. For more on that, check out the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Also, check out the College Football Experience, which I host. We have been tackling all the coaches, power ranking them in each conference, and we will preview all 136 FBS teams within the next couple of weeks. We're going to start that. So check out that. Check out the FCS College Football Experience. Also, the College Baseball Experience. The Road to Omaha heating up. And check out the Sports Gambling Podcast, College Basketball Experience, and everything else out there right now. NASCAR Gambling Podcast, killing it. So check out all that action. Till next time, folks. This is the UFL Gambling Podcast, where crossroads meet bullshit. Can't wait to see where they play these playoff games. All right. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here. Run and shoot.